Hello everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise and today's reading is going to be on Donald Trump's health for the month of September. And I'm using the LeNormand system because I feel it's better than the tarot for really honing in on what's going on. And I'm using this deck, the Maybe LeNormand by Ryan Edwards, because he combines there's some gypsy cards in here as well, and so we do have a card for illness, and we have cards for, like fighting and dueling, things like that, which, kind of covers it with the Donald. Okay, so let me get really centered again. I was centered, spread the cards out. Now I've got to get back into his energy. Okay. And it normally, so I'm going to do a 9-card spread, a box spread, a 3x3, and normally I would choose a signifier for the person and put them in the middle, like whether they're a man or a woman, but I'm going to leave it free because that middle card, card number 5 that shows up is, it's a theme for the rest of the surrounding cards. It's a focus card. Okay, so Donald John Trump health for September through the whole month. September 2020. Let's see, what do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, we can always draw more for clarity if we need. You can always add on around the circle. Yikes! This could be colon problems. Being the focus card, he's definitely betraying his own health. It could be betrayal from others, but because we're focused in on his health, I would say he might feel like his own body is betraying him, which is what happens when, yeah, that's the way it goes when you're not living in enough of the state of love, because that's the life force of the universe. This universe we lived in is actually created in the state of love, and so as we're not in that loving state, moving through our lives, or at least, half the time, right? Then we create dysfunction and disease in our bodies. And he's so darn, evil. I can't imagine the life force working in his body clearly. Okay, so they're flowing freely. So this looks like eye problems. This, to me, reads as to being so his eyes may be betraying him. He may be having trouble reading. And, my goodness, he tweeted 89 times on Sunday. And then, by the way, this is Tuesday, September 1st, as I'm doing this reading. Yeah, he tweeted and retweeted 89 times Sunday morning. So it might have been longer or more, as the day went through, a longer time period. So, but anyway, this feels to me like he's overheated. His body's betraying him because he's like dried out and overheated. And his eyes are probably having trouble. And now this, in a health reading, has to do with your spinal column. It can also have to do with feeling, alone and separated. Because, in his case, now I wouldn't say this for everyone, but in his case, it's because he puts himself, he's not really in his own deep down, in authority, like he doesn't really have, he's not in the I have my authority, which is the way you could read, this card could read I have, and then you add on the meaning with the rest of the other cards around it. But with him, he's not really coming from his inner authority, so it's always projected. He gets it from going out, and saying, ridiculous, mean, and cruel things, and lying. This is a card of lying. The fox is always about lying and mischievous, and unless you're asking for like a health specialist, trying to find a specialist for health, or in some other way, but you have to really focus and do a lot of intention work, and that is not what I did for this reading. I left it more open. So I would say that his inner authority goes outward to others, and then he pushes it all up out through his body. This is why you see him like leaning forward, and this is why we saw him, like stalking, literally like a predator stalking Hillary on stage in the 2016 debates. That one debate, anyway, that I remember. But anyway, so his energy body, it's like if you maybe we could turn this into like the Kundalini life force. We could probably do that, right? And then it goes up and out. And it goes up and over. See how this is top heavy here, just like he is in his body, and he leans forward. And this reminds me of an empath reading I did on him months ago. It's somewhere in my library, but it had to do with me sitting and empathing his body, and I set the intention to not go below his third chakra because I just will not. But what I felt was this looping energy where it all shoots up into his head, and he operates from just like the top in his limbic brain. And then later on I heard there is no ground, there is no true ground. So this to me is reminding me of that reading. He doesn't have his true ground in his sense of, I have. He's not down completely in his first chakra. He's up in his head. And hence that energy creates this ridiculous, looping energy where you think that you need to be superior and have control over everything. And it's the wrong way to go. The fox card always means wrong. It can be wrong. The snake, we're talking betrayal, complications. We're talking, detours. So his energy, there's a detour there up into his head. And, and I normally wouldn't read the Tower card this way. But in a health reading, I'm changing the meanings up. Normally, this could be the government. This could be any institution. But this may very well be that some institution ends up betraying him this month. I mean, he already has so many groups coming out against him. The veterans, I don't have to try and find all the names in my head right now. Let's just stick with his body and look at, there's a possibility that he needs a prescription because he's not seeing clearly. If I had the clouds card here, I would say he was maybe even experiencing some dizziness, but what I'm getting with this is that he's dried out. He's not necessarily getting enough like water in him, and he's having vision problems. Yeah, it feels like there's definitely something wrong. And of course this is, the hidden agenda. His instincts are not working correctly. If they ever have. I mean, maybe when he was younger, we all have, instincts. But at this, from right here, this is, I think he's going to feel like his health is betraying him, and he's having problems, of course, vision problems, like I said, and from this overblown ego, it's that just awful energy where what success you normally could have is it's wrong. It's going in the wrong direction. The fox card is always about, something is wrong. So, this is where he manipulates and he lies. And then he has to watch his surroundings because he doesn't feel, safe, right? It can be a trap. Like this card can be a trap. So he's probably feeling trapped in his body. Now also on a physical level, the snake has to do with you know, the colon. You know, most of all, it's dangerous. It's an enemy. It's, you know, rivals. Yeah, and it's, you know, people that are around to harm him. So there's a possibility here that there's some institution of people who are working against him to take him down because, you know, it's not good what he's been doing. It's just awful. So let's try going around, and I'll read from the snake out. Okay, so let's start over here. So something's betraying him, probably because I have to always bring it back to the context of the question, which of course is his health. So there could be some sudden incident that happens that gets him like in the lower intestines because he's having trouble, you know, metabolizing things, or of course he would have trouble letting go because if you're dried out, right? And the being dried out would also create the vision problems. But anyway, I think this is like a sudden issue with his intestinal system, and I think it's going to bring him into this place of where it even creates back problems, and especially lower back, I would think, but the entire spine actually, and the snake can be spinal problems as well too, and I think it necessitates some type of a prescription, maybe for his eyes, at least, or maybe that he goes for like a colonoscopy or something, and then something is revealed from the snake to the sun. The sun will reveal. It can also be success, and it can be vitality, but with these other cards around it, even just the snake card alone cancels this out, and it flavors this card because it's, you know, it's normally a yes card. I mean, it is a yes card, but in this case, it's like, yes, there's something wrong, and it's in his intestinal area, and he's going to feel like his body's betraying him, like I said. So that will be revealed this month. Now, we may not see it. This is just, you know, with him personally. We may not ever know about this. But there's something going on there. Yeah, and the snake to the fox. There's something wrong with his intestines, and especially lower intestines. Okay. And it has to do, this has to do with maybe some overindulgence, or maybe something. Oh my goodness, you know what this could be is that somebody brings food to him, this, or he goes, you know, and he eats out with somebody, you know, it's like a meal shared or an invitation. The flowers is usually an invitation and a gift, you know, and it can be like a surprise, you know, like offering. And then combined with the pig here, this can be, you know, some way, and here's the reason I was saying overindulgence, and then it causes him to be ill. And it's it's something very, very sudden. Yeah, so that's about it for this month. Now that would be going around with drawing each cards together. Now let's try, let's do it a different, because when you read a 3x3, there's a lot of different ways you can do it. The first way is what I just did, by going from the center card out and reading each card together like that. And then the second way you can do it is to read the four corners. Some people go with the diamond cards first, but then usually by the time you've done all that, and you've gone this way, and you've gone this way, you've gone this way, and this way, you pretty much get the same meaning. You know, you're getting, it's like repeat, repeat, repeat. But let's do this as past. Now, because we're talking the whole month of September, but let's do it a little bit different. Let's look at like the first third of the month, second, and then the last third. So the first third of the month looks to me like, because it's, with a health issue, he's looking for some type of a prescription because he is having trouble. And it comes on suddenly, like there's an acute issue. And then towards the mid-month, so this would be like the next, week and a half. And then towards the mid-month, so you could look at each 3 cards as being 10 days, so 10, 20, 30, like that. So let's say this could be like from today through the 10th, and this is possibly the 10th through the 20th. This would be him seeing clearly that there's really a problem in his intestines, and it's from food. This could also be food poison, which is what I was getting before, and I think I did not say the words, but I heard it in my head, and then I heard something else and got distracted, so that's what happens. So anyway, possibly food poisoning with these. And then later on in the month, there's something that's revealed that's wrong, that is wrong, and this can very well be a surprise. So we've got 2 surprise cards here. This one is like lightning quick, something that happens lightning fast, and then this is a surprise, which is usually a gift, and it's usually, a yes card, but then again, we've got it flavored. We've got, the fox bearing down on it, and it's flavored with the snake. So that's not so good, because these 2 completely, just one of these would outweigh this card, but we have 2 here. And this card is like, it's about food and opulence and prosperity. So it could be that he goes somewhere to, go somewhere where he's invited to dinner, and then there's some sudden issue with his intestines. My goodness, wow. Okay, so now that we've done that, so let's look at him as being the snake in the grass, and his, his colon area, his constitutional area is betraying him. And then up here's what he's thinking about. Oh my goodness, I need to get a prescription. There's something wrong. I need to go see what this is all about. And this could be, this would be what he's thinking about. And this can be just what the actual issue is about. So I'm going to go back to that feeling like things are dried out and something's wrong. If I had the mountain card somewhere in here, I would say, oh, there's an obstacle. But because I have these other cards, I think that there's going to be some poisoning, some food poisoning. So it may pass quickly, and we may not know, what actually happened. But that's something I believe that he'll be experiencing this month. And then if we look at up here is what he does not have control over. So he doesn't have control over other people seeing, what he's putting out there. And he does things unconsciously often. It's like he and Kellyanne, they give up the game plan half the time. And if you're smart, you can catch it. But of course, his followers probably don't catch those things because they just, they have their blind spots. But now what he does have control over is his food and his money, and whether or not he accepts invitations. But I think he's going to accept some invitation that proves to be wrong for him. Interesting. So let's do some additional cards. let's see. Let's get some clarity on, well, I do have plenty of room, so let's do, I'm going to do 3 more cards on this side and 3 more on this side, and let's add on a little bit. Or actually, you know what I can do? Let's see. Since I have such big hands, here we go. I can do, I think, 2 cards on each side, and we can add on and get to the heart of the matter. One of the awesome things with this deck that I learned from Ryan Edwards and his little, there's a little book that comes with it, and he did, so a lot of times you do a grand tableau, and you do all the cards. And he taught me this little method here where it's you can get to the heart of the matter. But I'm going to use this same thing and just kind of add on. I'm just going to use the intention because I don't have the camera up high enough to do the whole grand tableau. And if I did, you wouldn't be able to see the cards very well. Unless I do that moving around method thing. But I didn't think it warrants, you know, for just 1 month with him. All right, so let's get back to, I'm going to do 2 rows here and 2 rows here. And the 2 rows over here, I want more information about this. And the 2 rows over here, I want more information about this, because I think this is pretty clear. But I'll take more information about the whole 9 yards here. I'm not going to be picky. Okay, so just more information about Donald Trump's health in September 2020. Okay. All right, bear with me, you guys. You can always fast forward this part. Oops, and 6. Okay, so these cards will go like this. Sorry, I didn't tell you what I had in my head when I decided to draw the cards, but here's what I decided. There, let's see, oops, and then it went like this and like this. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So let's just go ahead and do this. Ooh, there's the illness card. Yikes. There's the major overindulgence. Interesting. And, okay. Okay, so I see a little bit more of the story here. So remember, again, this is like the heart of the matter. And so it's going to be kept secret, or we won't know about it, and it has to do with, well, while he's traveling, this problem has to do with his traveling. So it's either a place that he ate or will eat while he's on the road, and there could, I still feel like the food poisoning, because again, here we have public garden card. The book card is about secrets. They can be revealed. It's also about, you know, esoteric meanings, things like that. But when it comes to health, we're in the area of things that are unknown. You know, it's something that's hidden. So you always have to look at the cards that are around it. And with the ship, this has to do with traveling. So, something that's hidden from him. This could be like the recipe or whatever of the food that he eats. But something that's hidden from him during his travels. But it's something that he impulsively wants. Like the food is something that just he impulsively wants. And again, the traveling. If we just look at these three cards, is this just, you know, he's out on the road or in the air, and there's, you know, again, that public invitation out into the public, and maybe he's like doing some type of a thing where he's going to go out and talk about, you know, like the way he does his rallying. But then something is really, you know, not clear and not good. This may be even the dizziness I was talking about possibly before. Like if I had the clouds card, well, now I do. And it can come on very suddenly, and it is definitely intestinal, you know, stomach related. Yeah, so it's like his impulsiveness, you know, the addiction, you know, the junk food that he eats all the time. You know, I think he has McDonald's every day, and he always has, and he thinks that their food is safer. Well, he might find out that it's not one of these days. He might get a bad burger. So moving to this side. Look at this right here. This is the illness card. So now I don't know if with the woman up here, the woman is a person. So it could be that there's an invitation from the woman because she knights over here to this card. I use a knighting technique where it's 2 up and 1 over, or 2 over and 1 down, right? So like here it's suddenly. And again, that moving across this way, some kind of a recipe that doesn't sit with his intestines. Yeah. It could be like explosive. Oh my God. Okay. Ew. Anyway. Yikes. So it could be a woman who's just kind of, you know, putting it out there, like she's kind of fickle, and she's like, oh yeah, hey, you come eat with us or whatever, or come eat at this restaurant with us, or I'm setting this up for you, come be with us. And then there's a lot of overindulgence. This is the illness card in the deck. And because of it, whatever it is, and I believe it's some kind of food poisoning or something that comes on suddenly, it costs a lot. Because of course he's got his whole, you know, his security detail. And, you know, they're going to have to, like, protect him from, you know, whatever's going on in the area, and it might shut things down for a while. I don't know, you know, for him. Like wherever he is, this is the being stuck in bed card. You know, wherever he is, he might have to stay for a while. And maybe it'll be whoever this woman is that invited him. She could be a donor because we have the safe, you know, this is, but usually, well, yeah, with this deck, I'm not going to hold the hard and fast rule that this is like money that you have. This can be, because with him, it's the little bit of an exception to the rule is that he's out rallying and he's working on, you know, donors. So I believe that's what's going on here. And maybe she's been kind of fickle with whoever this woman is. Maybe she's been kind of fickle with how much money she'll give. So he's been working on her. Yeah, yeah. Wow. So isn't that interesting if you look at this, just like the enticement for money that he's always going for, and that's what his whole entire life is about. And at some point it has to start taking him down in all different ways. I mean, it has already. It has already. He has all these lawsuits against him, and I do believe that his assets in the U.S. at least will, well, only in the U.S. will be seized. So anyway, yeah, so somebody nurses him back to health. Somebody does. He'll be okay. He'll live through it. If I had the coffin card here, especially coupled with this card, I would say, oh, well, it might be an awful, well, You might not make it through this month, but I don't have those cards. I just show that, I mean, what I'm seeing is that he's dehydrated, and he's on the road, and he does his thing, and he accepts some invitation, and he gets food poisoning. That's how I see it. But, you know, we might not ever see it. We might not ever know about it, because, or it might be one of those things that comes out at the very, you know, like later on, like another book that comes out, and a year later you find out, oh yeah, I was with Donald when he had explosive diarrhea and almost died, and almost had died of dehydration. And because we went to so-and-so's house, or he wanted a burger on the road and it turned out to be the wrong one. But with a book card up here, secrets, it's like secrets during travel time, a recipe that's bad. You know, secrets in travel time, he's out trying to get the votes. And, you know, and there are issues with that. But these cards, this lineup here is intense. Really intense. Unless, now another way this could play out, if it's not food poisoning, because I don't have the mice card here, which is actual poisoning. This could be that if it's not food poisoning, it could just be a colon problem that's been bothering him for quite a while, and now it's finally brought in the illness. And there is a loss to his, you know, the safe fundage that he might have. Is that a word? The funding that he has, the safety. Because the money, whatever card is here on this open side is where the money's going. So it's going towards his illness. If there were a card over here, then I'd say, well, this card here is safe from loss. But this is a money loss. But because we have the warmth card, which is, you know, a bit of a vitality, I would say that he does, whatever this is, he does make it through it, at least for the month of September, because this is the, you know, the confines of the reading is just for the month. Okay, well, I can't see anything else here. Well, wait, actually, I could say this is a mini grand tableau and just read the four corners. I could also read the first three cards, which are, like I said before, I think about, of course, said this a few times, it's a secret, travel. There's secrets around some travel and big change overseas. This could have to do with votes, or this could have to do, because this is a health reading, this could have to do with his, like a prescription that he needs. And it could be because his eyes are dried out, like I was saying before, and he's needing, you know, something to help treat his eyes. And then with the four corners, this is like, this could be news that doesn't come out because it's secret, and there's too many other, like, you know, threads that just go out. Like, it might be out in the news, but it'll never really be taken in as something solid. Yeah. Like, there could be some little bit of, like, gossiping between the people that take care of him, but I don't think it'll be out into the public. Although with these two cards together, it could be. There's that possibility there. Yeah. But anyway, whatever it is, it's sudden, and it comes on quickly, and then I think he does recover. Because we do have recovery cards here. But, you know, the reason I was going with the food poisoning is just because of these overindulgence cards that came in twice. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll see. If you guys get any guidance on this, any other LeNormand readers out there, I welcome your comments. And as always, I love you guys, your comments and questions. But yeah, I think that's it. I'll close this reading up and move on. Okay, take good care. Meanwhile, bye.